The Ozzy Edwards case continues to heat up, and my goodness, this Jax versus Monica part two was worth the wait.
I was his first experience.
Sexual experience?
Miss Wilson, please answer the question.
Yes.
And there you have it. Monica just revealed to the world and everybody in the court that she was the one who touched Ozzy when he was 13. Shock and awe with everyone in the court. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Lawrence Reports to talk about episode 6 of Reasonable Doubt. And like I said, we gotta get right into it. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We gotta get right into it when I'm talking about Monica versus Jax. Now, we know for Jax, every time I think she's out of wild cards, she pulls out another wild card. She pulls out another big joker, right? One that I did not see coming. She says, and she's trying to convince Ozzy that we need to get Monica on the stand for cross examination. Of course, he's a little bit nervous about it. I get it too. I'll be nervous too. But he does come around. Monica comes to the stand. But before that, I love how Jax and Monica they met with each other and they both agreed. Well, when Monica called Jax out, Jax admitted that yeah, you're right. I do love this right here, but I want what's best for Ozzy, which is a crazy play, which is a crazy trick. I mean, well, not a trick, but she really does want what's best for Ozzy. But the way she set up Monica about it, and she told Monica, I'm not gonna be asking hard questions, basically, right? Why she play Monica like that? Why you do that, Jax? Why did you do that? Because when it was time to go into the stage, I mean to go into the courtroom, oh, Monica fumbled underneath the pressure. Jax was asking the questions like, talk to me about your relationship with Ozzy. And she admits that, I was his first. I was Ozzy Edwards first. And he's like, first what? First sexual relationship. And that's when the court is completely shocked. She's like, I loved him. He's the best man I've known. I was trying to look out for his best interest. I was like, oh no, jail. Jail time, lady. Jail time. And one of the crazy parts, I just could not help but notice, whenever Monica was on the stand, Ozzy was like pulsating. Did y'all see that? Like, bro was shaking. Bro had to close his eyes. Like, bro was in another dimension. Like, Ozzy was like going through it. Like he just wanted to sweat, but he didn't sweat. But he was just so nervous. It was like an out of body experience. Like, and then when it was all over, the crazy part is like Monica knew that Jax basically broke the agreement. She completely flipped it on her, right? To basically paint her as the villain. The mom is there. I hate it for the mom. The mom couldn't believe that, the situation with Ozzy being touched, stuff like that, right? And then when they met in the parking lot, right? That's when Ozzy was like, he comes to the realization that my life is screwed up because of you. She's like, I love you, Ozzy. You're the only man I really love like that. You're the best man I know. And Ozzy's like, my life is screwed up because of you. And you're a child molester on top of that. Ozzy is finally waking up. Monica's angry at Jax. Man, that was good. That was good. That was the best parts of this episode to me personally, right? And speaking of cases, we'll talk about Kristen. Kristen completely fumbled, right? Ortiz, he called her up, right? He's asking questions. She's like, well, I sent these text messages and then I unsent them. And I'm like, oh my God. And then she says that my brother sometimes can be repulsive. I'm like, oh my God. We saw the look on Ozzy's face. He's like, I cannot believe she said that. She walks out crying because she know she messed up big time when it come to her being on that stand. Ortiz, I got even props. He definitely ate her up because the past lawyer he had to leave due to some mental health reasons. I believe Jax ate him up again so bad, so he ended up having to quit that entire case, right? And of course, we saw Daniel there. He was trying to console his girl, right? But then Crystal, right? Crystal sees them two. So now Crystal knows that them two have been talking, right? And keep in mind, when it comes to Kristen, she was with that author. And Daniel, he spotted her. Remember? He was taking those pictures and he spotted her. He's like, okay, what's going on with that situation right there? So the basis of the cases right there, I thought they both were good. Jail Monica, Kristen, you fumbled. I hate that so much for you. And speaking of Monica, we know also that it's Ozzy's birthday. She comes over, she's like, yo, what's this right here? Jackson trying to subpoena me to go to the court. Why would you agree to this right here, right? And he gives her a BS excuse, right? And then on top of that, it's his birthday. So his boys are coming over. They got a dude by the name of Cordell. I forgot what show he plays on. I don't watch these reality shows. He love reality shows, but Ozzy birthday. They're like, yo, let's go out and turn up. Ozzy like, I can't do that, boys. I can't do that. No worries. We bought the party to you. So it's like, yo, but only thing we missing, we need some hoes, bro. We need some hoes. And then he tells Monica, Ozzy tells Monica, give me some hoes because he says that, since you're always trying to protect me, you know what I'm saying? You burnt the shirt. Like, what are you doing looking through my clothes, finding bloody shirts? You burn them. You always trying to protect me. And she's like, well, I didn't kill Wendy, all this other stuff. But she actually does it. She actually goes out, gets some strippers, gets some hoes for Ozzy. And then Ozzy's in the back getting freaky. Then we saw Wendy. I mean, not Wendy, but we saw Monica out here touching herself while Ozzy's getting freaky. I'm like, what kind of mess is this right here? What are we doing? Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane that they both have such a stronghold over each other. Absolutely crazy. So now that we know that, Monica is coming to the stand, everybody's not gonna be happy about it. AKA Bill, right? For cross-examination with Monica. He thinks it's too much of a risk. He goes back to talk to the partners. The partners let him know that we're basically about to have a merger that will become another company, and we don't think Jack should be a part of this company, right? So now this is opportunity for Bill to do his thing, because now Bill also admits to the partners, this is risky. And the partner's like, well, we'll ask Jax about it, but we're gonna try to leave you out of it. Wrong. They completely fumbled. And then that's when Jax realized, yo, are you telling my tea? Are you talking behind my back? Like, whose side are you really, really on? And now Jax realizes that, I may not be able to trust Bill with everything. He's going back to tell the partners what I'm really working on. And speaking of Bill, Bill's trying to get the old thing back. He got the name of the flowers right, that it was called pennies, I think. But it's not gonna be enough. He's going out to dinner with his lady, and I thought they was going to get back together or whatever. She's like, I can't do this. We've been doing this. This is the same cycle we've been on. And she's like, yo, I done met with a divorce lawyer. It's a wrap. And of course, later we end up meeting Sally and Jax. They're talking about their day or whatever, and they spot Bill, right? And of course, Sally says, I'm going to end up divorcing Chris, whatever, right? They spot Bill. Bill comes over. Sally's hot and bothered like Little Caesars. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Well, hot and ready like Little Caesars. Like, are you freaking kidding me right now? She thinks that Bill is such a good looking guy. When Jax goes to the bathroom, she ends up getting Bill's number because they invite him over originally, right? And they having drinks and all that. And Jax is completely disgusted with everything that's going on. She ends up getting the number out of Jack's phone. They end up meeting up later on. They getting freaky. Sally had to get her rocks off. I'm like, come on now. Come on now. What are we doing, Sally? What are we doing? Like, we know it's been a minute, but come on now. You and Bill, that's crazy to me. Now we gotta talk about Lewis and Jack's daddy. Now, we do know this right here. Jack's dad, Eddie, right? He says that he was in like a sobriety house. He's been clean for quite some time. And Jax is there, right? But it's not going to be exactly the truth that we know, right? Because we know Lewis, he really don't trust a word that Eddie is saying. And it turns out, Eddie was well, Lewis found out why Eddie was there. Allegedly, that's what he thought. But Eddie tells him that, one main reason why I'm here is because Mama Lou got cancer, right? So that may be true. That may be true. But I can't say this right. I still don't think Eddie's telling the truth. Because remember, we got Lori Harvey, right? We got her coming through. I really think that she's going to be like his stepdaughter from the past or something, like his daughter from the past or something like that. So Eddie is not completely telling the truth. Now I'll talk about this family dynamic. I love this right how Jax and Lewis were going back to therapy, and they do need a therapy, right? And they're worried about that family dinner. Man, think about the family dinner when they finally whenever the therapist says, "Listen, just go for what it's worth. Just go, try to relax, have a good time." Both sides of the parents are there. And one of the things that I loved about Lewis, while Eddie kept talking, Lewis is not giving Eddie the benefit of the doubt, no grace or nothing like that at all, right? At the family dinner. And it turns out for Lewis, he gets some tea himself. You know what I'm saying? He finds out his parents are no longer living together. They stay in separate houses. They begin to sell the childhood home. They about to move to Florida. He's like, yo, nobody want to tell me this right here. So Lewis is now having a hard time dealing with his own family issues, right? And not to mention, I did love how the parents kind of did bond over music with, I think it was the Delphonics or whatever. I did love that aspect right there. But then Lewis' brother clocked him, right? Because Jax claims that Lewis' family is kind of like the Huxtables, right? But Lewis didn't do a Huxtable thing when he got Tony knocked up on the side because his brother called him out about that. So the brother's like, yo, give our parents some grace, right? We know they separated, whatever, or live in separate houses, whatever, and give Eddie some grace. Give Naeem and the son Spencer some grace as well. So he clocked his brother. I thought that was absolutely hilarious to me. At the end, we know that Alex, it looked like he's going to airdrop some pictures or something like that of Wendy, right? Because keep in mind, Daniel met with that lawyer. I think his name was not lawyer, but the author who was named Lincoln, right? He was claiming he's getting ready to write this bombshell book. So I'm wondering what role is this author Lincoln is about to play. Also, could he? I mean, my goodness, we saw Kristen and him hugging it out, right? I mean, my goodness, could he be a potential suspect? Like at this point in time, I don't know. We still don't know who killed Wendy. I think it's one person, but now you got Lincoln in here. Like it's a long shot. But everybody who always goes to the stand, I said this before, they always say, I didn't kill Wendy in front of Jax or whatever the case may be. I'm like, all y'all guilty. It could we could like we said in our lives, shout out to Letitia. It literally could be a group project when it comes to them, killing Wendy. I don't know, y'all. Let me know down in the comments. This was a great episode, of course. Monica, it's over. It's a wrap, y'all. Make sure to subscribe. And as always, thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.